Wind chill warnings are starting to pop up. We also have winter storm warnings still in effect and winter weather advisories. So even though the system has moved out, still a lot is going to be happening here. Now the winter storm warning still in effect through most of the day Sunday, as well as the winter weather advisory, but the wind chill advisory could be for wind chills as cold as -30 down to the south, even over toward Detroit, -20, -25, not out of the question. But believe it or not, it gets even worse back over to our west. We start turning into a wind chill warning. Some areas in the Great Plains could have wind chills as cold as -60. Still have some winter storm and blizzard warnings over there as well. Those will expire, but please keep in mind that now we're transitioning to an Arctic outbreak across a good part of the country. In Lansing, Michigan, look at these temperatures cooling off down into the single digits. Those are the highs. And further down to the south, where we're not warmed by the Great Lakes, we could have temperatures not even top zero in some cases. So it's going to be very cold. The average temperature in Lansing this time of the year is about 30 degrees. We'll eventually start heading that direction, but this is going to be some seriously cold air with dangerously cold wind chills over the next several days. And again, in addition to that, lake effect could still wreak havoc across the area. We're looking for some blinding snow at times. It'll be very powdery, blowing around in winds gusting 40, 45 miles per hour. So it could really pile up. We could have a lot of blowing and drifting. And this extreme cold, like I just showed you, is going to last for a couple of days. So here's how things look. We have this big plunge of Arctic air coming down out of the northwest. Look at the Great Lakes though. See how there's this kind of shadow of different colors? That is the cold air warming up as it goes over the Great Lakes. And all these Great Lakes were just record warm about a week ago. So even though they've cooled off a bit, they haven't cooled off much to, not have that warming influence. So even though it looks way colder to the west and warmer here, that is the case, but the Great Lakes are really helping us out. Just as you think we warm up by the middle part of next week, another plunge comes our way, and that could kind of kick everything off all over again. We could look for some dangerously cold wind chills and some more lake effect snow to potentially come our way. Here are these sustained future wind speeds according to our in-house graph models. We go throughout the day on Sunday, sustained 20, 25, maybe even up to 30 miles per hour at times. Now it looks like they calm down into Monday, but remember, we're starting off with sub-zero temperatures on Monday. Sub-zero temperatures with a sustained wind around 20 miles per hour. That is going to downright hurt when you head outside. And that's when frostbite can happen in 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes or less in some cases, and dangerously cold wind chills will be in place. Winds will stay pretty strong, honestly, all the way through Wednesday of the middle part of the week before we start to see them lighten up a little bit. Wind gusts on Sunday, easily over 40 miles per hour. Another reason why we have these dangerous wind chills. So look at this. We have -20, -25 to the south because of the warming effect of Lake Michigan on the temperatures to the north. That's why they're a little bit warmer up there. But eventually we start losing that warming effect as winds turn more to the south and southwest. Look at these wind chills by the time we get into Monday morning. For all of lower Michigan, this would include Flint, Detroit, Grand Rapids, and Kalamazoo as well. -20 to -30, not out of the question. That is dangerously cold. Even for the middle part of the day on Monday, we're looking at wind chills of -15 or so. If you get a wind chill in the single digits below zero, that's going to be a major improvement. On top of that, lake effect snow ongoing through the day Sunday, especially this main band that looks like it could go right through Lansing from Grand Rapids along I-96, maybe even impacting Oakland County, Genesee County over to the east as well. Models generally dissolve lake effect a little bit, which I think is good because winds will be changing direction, but as the winds continue to wobble around a little bit, we could easily bring that lake effect back, especially Monday night into Tuesday, as you see right there. Additional lake effect snow totals. This one band is going to be intense. Over to the west, easily could maybe about a foot. Even the National Weather Service going about a foot in the intense lake effect snow belts. But that snow belt this time could go right through Lansing, so we could look for an additional 6 inches or so. As always, lake effect amounts are highly variable. They're so narrow that a little switch in mileage, maybe even 3 or 4 miles, could mean the difference between 6 inches or generally almost nothing. So we just got to keep an eye on it and recognize that that is definitely a possibility. Overall, I put the wind chills for southern Michigan in these days. Extremely cold, again, all the way through Wednesday when the winds lighten and we finally start to warm up a little bit. Lake effect snow could be a possibility, looking for a little system maybe coming through for Thursday into Friday, but it's going to be very cold out. And just when you think we warm up on Thursday, we're starting to cool things right back down into the teens with overnight lows in the single digits.